Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to change a final drive on a CAT 315C. So this is a C model. It's going to be very similar to all of your other CAT Cs, whether it's be a bigger machine or a smaller machine, as long as it is one with a standard steel track. So what we got here, first thing that you're going to do before you get to this point is you're going to come right here. We're going to unloosen the grease zerk right here and relieve the tension off the idler. Very important. Okay, so once you do that, you're going to come over here. This actually has a master link on it that goes to here, and this might not be an OEM. I don't believe that this is OEM spec. It might be an aftermarket rel and tracks. But we're going to split this track. Now there's two ways you can do it. You can either derel it off the machine, pull it off with another machine, or you can pull out the master pin. The master key looks like this right here. It's a track link. It's just a pin that just slides in. It's not pressed or anything. It's got the rubber bushings on it. There's a hole here with just a cotter key. You're going to pull the cotter key out, pull this out, and it'll actually drop your tracks. So be careful, be mindful. The best way to set this up is right here so that the sprocket keeps it all together. And as you undo it, you can just lift it off the sprocket, okay? So that's what I do. And I like, because I'm going to be removing this final drive, the whole point of this movie is to show you how to change or get in here to inspect the duocone sill. So what we got is, if you have an excavator that is leaking oil out on the inside pad, generally you'll see it right here leaking on the inside rail on your track. So this is it. It'd be leaking on the inside, and what you're going to have is it'll actually drain out all of your fluid from inside these final cases. And it's a sill, they call it duocone sill, and it sits right here, and you'll see that this is all wet on the inside of your final drives, and that's what's going on. It'll ultimately take out your final drives. So we're going to go ahead and open this up. I'm going to remove this, break this whole system down on the gear side. Right now you got to go through the hydraulic side to get this off, and so that's the procedures I'm working on showing you today. So now that we have this track split open, I like to raise it up. I blocked it right here on this side, and I put a big cribbing right here on this side, and so cribbing. And then what we do is we go and we take off the sprocket. So I like to take the sprockets off to minimize the weight coming in and out of there. I'm going to have this set up on a table. I'm going to be going through it, so I don't want that big sprocket working there. So it's best just take it off. You're going to want to take that off completely, and after that point, after it's been elevated, come over here. You're going to take off this cover. There's going to be 4 bolts here, here, and here, one right there. And then now your hoses. So these are the flange style hoses. You're going to have 2 of them come in here. This one sits up on top, and this one goes down on the bottom. So I believe this is a case drain. These 2 right here are your main flow, and then this is your high speed on this. So as you can see, I've removed the hydraulics on them. You only see that there's 3 bolts here, and so there is a plate that I've taken off. I'm going to show you. There's a flange face that fits on the back of this. It's a big square piece. You're going to need to take that off. I believe it's held on there by 2 bolts. So you can see, after you take that cover off, you can see that flat face. There's 90s that sit right up on here, and there's 6 bolts. You're going to want to undo those. Then you pull that off and you put it somewhere clean. Then there's this is exposed. This is where your high flow sits at, is up here. And then that right there is your case drain. So as at this point right here, you have all these little Allen head bolts. They're not little, they're big. And I like marking them, everything, as I take it apart at the very top. So I'm going to put this back on. You don't actually need to take this off of the hydraulic motor itself. I found that there's 3 bolts that go all the way through it that actually hold it on, and there are the longer ones. And so you can leave it all bolted on and keep your hydraulics all clean. Since I had it off, I was inspecting it. You can see on this brass ring here, you can see that there's been some damage done. We had a ram get blown up on this machine. It actually sent still through the valving system, and that might just be some residual still that was left in there that didn't get taken out, that the return filter probably caught. So here's the hydraulic motor, and it runs all the way down in your final drive. It's got a big O-ring in here that seals it, but that is not what we're changing. It's called the dual cone seal. I'm just showing you what we've got going on this machine. So this is the face that you'll see as you open up the cover on the inside of that, and there's only 3 bolts that go all the way through. 1, 2, and 3. Since I have this all off, there's these O-rings that sit in here that I'm going to reseal. And again, you're going to want to inspect all this, make sure that it's all clean. You can see that there's been some nicks and dings from maybe some small steel that's gotten in there, so that's best that we change your filters housings. So from this point on, you're going to want to remove those 3 bolts, and that whole housing will come out. That right there, that shaft you see in there, is the front sun gear of your Planetary, and that's what we're going to pop off, and I'll get going further on that later on the next video that I'll have. Yeah, stay tuned. That'll be the second video that I'll make, and I'll show you how all that works. And again, you're going to want to plug all of your hydraulics to keep your tank from draining, because it can drain your whole tank out of your hydraulic system. It is best to try to catch the oil if you can with any kind of buckets on the opposite side as you pull out your final drive oil to catch all that. And that's what I'll give you so far on, and I'll continue to show you the dual cone seal and how to go about changing that, and the ramps that the dual cone seals sit on and ride on, and we'll inspect all that on the next video. Go ahead and like and subscribe, leave comments or questions. If you have any other ways that you guys like doing this, let me know. Thank you.